everybody. Smells like cheap cologne over here. Welcome back. Welcome back, my friends. Ladies and gentlemen, my first guest tonight is a New York Times best-selling author, CNN chief Washington correspondent, and anchor of The Lead with Jake Tapper. Please welcome back to The Late Show, Jake Tapper. Hi.
Hello.
Nice to see you again.
Things are great.
Yeah. Everything's great. You, sir, we've known each other for a long time. You're a political reporter. Of
21
renown.
years.
21 years.
Yeah.
Who's counting? So I would imagine you're familiar with the First Amendment.
It's my favorite.
Okay. How much of what we're seeing, like what went down yesterday with Kimmel and ABC and Brendan Carr and all that, how much do you think that is a First Amendment issue versus a misuse of executive power by the presidency? Because, I mean, technically, First Amendment is Congress shall make no law.
Right.
But this isn't Congress making a law. Congress didn't do anything. The president just pulled a few levers and then popped him out of there like a stuck clam.
It was, look, what happened to you, we think we know what happened, but it was all behind closed doors, right?
A rationale. The network had a rationale that these shows had run their course in terms of their economic usefulness.
The timing was, as the kids say, sus. But
wow.
Very
Boots
hip.
King.
Very hip. Put that on your TikTok.
6'7". That's all I gotta
6'7".
say.
That's very nice. That's very nice.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, but what happened with Brendan Carr, as you know, the FCC chairman, going on a right-wing podcast and saying Disney needs to change its behavior. Disney obviously owns ABC. And all those local TV networks, you need to say, we're not going to carry this quote-unquote garbage anymore.
Right.
That was at 1:01 p.m. yesterday. And by 5-something, Nexstar, as you noted earlier, the biggest owner of local TV news stations that needs Brendan Carr to give a seal of approval, a stamp, so that they can break a rule, a current FCC rule saying that nobody can own more than enough TV stations that reach more than 39% of the American people. That's the rule right now. For Nexstar to buy this $6.2 billion competitor, they need Brendan Carr to be like, no, forget that. We'll get rid of that rule. So Nexstar, as you note, sees Brendan Carr is signaling he wants local media to stop carrying this speech and this speaker that Trump doesn't approve of. Got it. Got the message. And we saw what happened. And it's a direct violation of the First Amendment because it is the government telling companies what to do with the implicit threat of, he said, we can do this the easy way or we can do this the hard way. And they chose the easy way.
Well, the FCC, is it supposed to be an independent institution?
Independent agency.
Okay.
Quote unquote, independent agency.
Sure, you can take the quotes off, I suppose, now. Throw them in the garbage? I don't know, throw the words in the garbage
well,
too.
there are a bunch of FTC, FEC, FCC, like they're all semi-independent agencies, supposedly.
Has it been politicized before this that you know of?
Not to this degree. I have never seen an FCC chairman call for a direct action by local affiliates to do something to remove a speaker and speech that they don't like. And it's chilling, and it's actually the exact opposite of, these were supposedly going to be the free speech champions.
That was part of the campaign.
Yeah,
they were tired of being censored and that they were free speech absolutists.
I will also sign an executive order to immediately stop all government censorship and bring back free speech to America. Never again will the immense power of the state be weaponized to persecute political opponents. Donald Trump, January of this year. And guess who this is? Under Donald Trump's leadership, we may disagree with your views, but we will fight to defend your right to offer it in the public square. Guess who that is?
Is that Brendan Carr?
That is J.D. Vance, our vice president.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They are doing.
Are you saying that J.D. Vance sometimes says one thing and does the other? You sound like a guy who doesn't want a TV show anymore.
If we do not have the ability to criticize, mock, investigate our leaders, then we are no longer the United States of America. You referenced. You referenced George Washington in your Colbert. By the way, it was great to see that guy. I've missed him. The Stephen Colbert.
This smells like cheap cologne over here now.
I've missed that Musk. George Washington, my personal favorite founding father is a guy that nobody's ever heard of named Benjamin Franklin Bache. He was Benjamin Franklin's grandson. He had a Philadelphia newspaper, and he ripped into George Washington. He covered the fact that Washington had slaves, and everybody's like, oh, George Washington doesn't even draw a salary in his newspaper. That's because he just treats the Treasury as if it's his own bank account. That is in the lifeblood of this country. He did the same to John Adams. John Adams passed the Alien and Sedition Act, threw him in prison. So that is where we are, then it expired, and then since then, presidents have had an uneasy relationship with the press, but I've never seen anything like this.
We have to take a quick break. We're right back with more Jake Tapper, everybody. Stick around.